Welcome to the 10th We Make It Happen podcast, a podcast designed for people within the events and entertainment industry, delving into the funny and maybe not so funny aspects of all our lives. Hello, Mr. Sweet. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you. Really appreciate it. I would say we're here all week. However, we have massively failed you guys, and we do sincerely apologise.
4 weeks.
It's been 4 weeks.
Is that the longest gap
It's
yet?
the longest gap we've ever had, and I'm very sorry. Please forgive us.
It's because we've been working hard. Or hardly working.
I was just going to say that, and I thought, I can't say that. Peak wedding season. If you're listening to this, you completely understand where we're coming from. It is absolutely mental at the moment. I haven't even been in the country. You've been going here, there, and everywhere within the country. It's been mad, hasn't it?
It has, yes, it has. But my bank balance is quite happy.
Oh my God, I know, same. Absolutely buzzing.
However, at the same time, I'm like, oh, I'm going to have to pay more tax.
I know.
Yeah.
We've missed something very important.
What have we missed?
Who are you?
Oh, I thought by this point that everyone would know who I am.
Yes, but with our gaining following count.
Sorry, yes, I am an absolutely amazing person. Oh, sorry, you need to know my name. I am Sweet on Sax, but my actual name that is written on my passport is Callum Sweet.
And what's your bank account number?
Bleep.
And I am Christix Drumming, or Christy Briggs on my passport. And I'm not going to tell you my banking number because, as we just said, my bank account is going up, thankfully, in summer.
I already know it. I'll forward it on to those that want to that want it.
If you want to pay into it, fantastic. That sounds fantastic.
So, as we always start every podcast, the same way. This one is no different. Love or loathe.
Ooh. I am on a drum roll.
I don't actually have a drum. Oh yeah, I do. Oh no, that's the wrong drum roll. I don't actually have a drum roll.
It'll do. I am on a love. So basically, because we haven't actually got a guest, and you are just blessed with our two beautiful harmonic voices, harmonious voices, harmonic.
It's definitely not harmonic.
Droning voices. It is just going to be a bit of a catch-up episode, I think. So I am on a love, just because I'm bloody busy, and it's brilliant. I mean, I'm absolutely shattered. But I'm very busy and it's exciting. Although, because I've been busy, I've got a few funny stories. I feel like there has been drama in every single event that I've been to recently.
Okay.
And there was one weekend, maybe 3 weeks ago, and I think all men just hit puberty at the same time. The testosterone in the rooms were rogue. And for example, we were doing a gig in Coventry for an agency, and there was just this one man who was very much on heat. And I think what must have happened is he must have thought the wedding stereotype, goes a single man and end up sleeping with somebody. But everyone had turned him down. He started with the bridesmaids probably, and they all went, nah. And then the evening guest came and he had an extra attempt, and once again, they all went, nah. So he thought, actually, last chance saloon, let's try the entertainment. They don't know I'm a bit of a tosser. So he was just stood behind me the entire time, kind of being like really weird with his eyes whilst we were playing in the first set. And it was towards the end of the first set where actually I think a lot of the guys realised that I was there and came along, and I had a little circle around me. They were ignoring the saxophonist, bless her. Only for that 5 minutes. They loved it for the rest of it. I think maybe because I was in the corner, they didn't know I was there. And just after I'd finished playing, this guy was like, yeah, that was amazing. Are you going to carry on? And I was like, yeah, we've got 2 more sets. Oh, okay, well, that's great because, we want you to throw it back for us.
Throw it back.
Throw it back.
What does that mean? Like throw it back to old music?
No, I think it means like twerk.
Oh, twerk.
Like throwing it back.
Why are you going to do that?
Bringing your booty back.
Oh, but your drums are only a certain height, so it would be physically impossible. Well, no, I thought he was asking you to twerk whilst you were drumming. No,
that would be a mission.
That's what I was thinking. I was
Put
like,
some
how long are your
on
arms?
each cheek. And
Yeah.
But I move quite a lot when I play, and some people say, how do you dance and drum at the same time? So I guess maybe there is a little bit of hip movement in there. But when he said throw it back, I didn't really know what he meant. Like you said, I thought he was talking about maybe taking it back to the 80s.
Yeah, well,
or something.
Yeah.
And I was like, I kind of did the not saying anything, but acknowledging and just kind of being like, go away. And he was like, no, bring the guys back. Turn it around. You can throw it back again for us. And I twigged what he was saying, and I was like, and left. Anyway, then
how old was this guy? Sorry,
34.
34. Okay.
Old enough to know better. And then anyway, he then came along in the second set and was once again getting right behind the sax player, like standing behind her in a really unusual way.
Okay, yeah.
Standing behind me, so much so that Holly, the DJ, then had to come whilst I was playing and be like, please leave her alone, you know.
Holly is the DJ from episode 2.
Yes. Go back and listen if you haven't listened. Although you should have done.
Click the link in the corner.
And then he was asking for our pizza and wouldn't leave us alone and was like pretending to spill drinks all over Holly's DJ decks because obviously she was shouting at him. And then she had to say over the microphone, can someone come get their boyfriend? Because if he doesn't stop doing this, we're all going to fuck off. I don't think she said fuck off, but she meant it. She said it much more professionally than that. Sorry, I didn't mean to swear.
It's all right. We're an explicit podcast now.
We've decided that swearing is allowed.
Yeah. We're over it.
And then at that point, the boys tried to take him away, which was great. But then he started fighting with them and they started fighting with each other and they started being like, well, I'm just trying to defend him and he's not. And it ended up with all the boys in different corners of the room, some outside, all in different groups, kicking off.
Oh, no.
And all the women were just literally dancing in the middle, living their best life. And and I think Holly had played like Girls Just Want to Have Fun on it or something. And they were all singing in the dance floor like, woohoo! Whilst all the boys were single-handedly losing all of their egos around the venue.
I mean, she should have been playing, you got to be starting something.
Got to be starting something. So yeah, and then the following night, I played a wedding and I turned up and the DJ was like, oh, they're all running really far behind. And I was like, oh, what, why? Oh, they've been fighting. I turned up at 7:30. I turned up at 7:30, right? There'd already been a huge fight between, I think it was the bride's parents and the bride's cousin and uncle. So kind of like...
How strange.
Bloodbath, literally. Spilled out into the courtyard. They had to send 2 of them home.
No way.
That was before 7:30. And then after that, it kicked off again. The bride right hooked someone.
The bride?
At her own wedding.
Wow.
Punched somebody in the face.
Jeez.
I know. And that was all before the first dance.
Wow. And you got tickets?
I got tickets, yeah. front row seats.
You got paid. Front row seats.
So the bride actually pretty much nearly knocked somebody out at her own wedding.
Wow.
And I know it must have been a near knockout because the groom was a boxer. Sorry, she had a right hook on her.
So that explains it, doesn't it? There was a fight at a wedding when the groom was a boxer. They were all probably from a fighting background.
Yeah, well, I think the lady, like the manageress on the night, had been like, you know, I know these people, so I expected something to kick off, but I didn't expect it to kick off before the first dance.
That is bad. That is so bad.
I know. I was like, do I leave? Because it was getting to the point where it was like dangerous, you know, like if it kicked off again on the dance floor, I technically, within my right in my contract, I can leave if I feel unsafe or threatened or anything like that.
Yeah.
But then, if I'm playing sax, I could just unplug, close my case, and leave. I've got like a half an hour pack down, and then in that pack down, they could then kick off with me.
That is true.
So I was like, what do I do?
Use your drums as a weapon.
I have some broken ones, which are very sharp drumsticks.
It's a shame you don't have a guitar because you could. Who was that guy in WWF, like back in the 90s, noughties, who would like smash someone with the guitar? And I remember being 4 watching this at that point going, oh no, the poor guitar. And I was quite young then. And this is probably why I ended up being a musician, because I have a...
Because you wanted to break. Oh, because you wanted to save them. Save the instruments.
Save the instruments, yes. Any other stories?
I have a few. But do you want to tell me about one of yours? We'll alternate because it's just us two.
All right, then. Yeah, sure. Well, I'd say I'm on a love this week. I'm on a love because music has distracted me away, from the real world. It's been a difficult week, personally. My cat died.
No! Racist granddad cat.
The racist granddad cat. Yes, Spike. Yes, the racist. Yeah, so it's a bit of a difficult one. Won't say too much, but my cat had been in ill health for quite some time. He was always on a steady decline. And when he told me that he was voting for a right-wing party, I was like, that's it, mate. No. No, that's not what happened. Don't worry, this isn't a story of the far left killing the far right.
Oh God, we're at that point already. We're 5 minutes in.
No, he was, well, he had a heart murmur, an overactive thyroid. He was losing track of his bladder. There was a lot going on, and I just didn't feel like he was living a happy life anymore. Especially that the other cat was eating all of his food, coming over here, eating our food. Yeah, it was one of those. So I felt, like he shouldn't really, for his own sake, be carrying on, because he's probably in quite a lot of pain. He had arthritis. That was a struggle, and sometimes he'd fall over himself and he'd end up hissing at himself for falling over, which was quite sad. So it took me quite a few months, really, to kind of come to terms with the fact that he probably does need to be sent to a better life without one, I suppose. So, because I'd been told by the vet a few months ago that you're either going to give him treatment or he needs to be put down, put to sleep. And the reason I didn't choose treatment was because he's 19, and I felt that that it was actually, people may disagree with this, and apologies if you do. Well, no, I'm not apologising if you do, actually, because this is how I felt, that giving him treatment at 19 with so many issues was more cruel, because I felt that actually he is only surviving for me because I want to be around him. Not because of any of the pain that he's facing, and I felt that was a bit selfish of me,
definitely,
to give him treatment. And it did feel that the vets were really kind of pushing that, but I was like, no, it just doesn't feel right to me.
Because they're going to get more money out of you, that's why.
Exactly, yeah. So, yeah, that was quite sad. Also, second anniversary of my dad passing away as well, in the same week as my cat died.
That's awful, I'm sorry.
But that same weekend was also the weekend of 9 gigs, bank holiday. So that really distracted me, because
no time to think.
No time to even, kind of reflect on what had happened, which in a way I think is a good thing, because although it was really sad, having that moment of pause where I got so much going on kind of then kind of let me step away emotionally. Yeah. And then after all the gigs has kind of settled down, then I've been able to kind of reflect and think a bit clearer. So yeah, a lot going on, but because of music and because of my job, I love that element to it. I had quite a few things.
Let's just rewind. Yeah, sorry, I'm not sure if you're going to do that. 9 gigs?
Yes, 9 gigs, yeah. So, because it's bank holiday
Honestly,
weekend.
You're mad.
Yes, I am. I'm aware of that now. I've been told by too many people that I'm crazy. Yes, but gotta get that money.
Gotta get that bread.
Yeah, it was quite a lot. I think it wasn't too bad, though, in a way, because they were split nice and evenly over about 4 days. So it was from Thursday to Sunday.
Okay.
And that was okay. I say 9 gigs in a weekend. I think technically it's 9 gigs in a week. However, it was actually 10 gigs in a week, because on the Monday of the beginning of the week was my sister's wedding. Now, that doesn't count as a gig, but I did play at her wedding. So I guess it counts. I didn't get paid, though. So I guess it doesn't count, does it? So I'm not counting that.
It's a half a gig.
It's half a gig, yes. And I got to play, and my son got to see me play saxophone for the first time. And he had a big, massive smile on his face the whole time. And I couldn't tell whether he was giggling as well. And I couldn't tell whether he was giggling at me, because I had this weird metallic object coming out of my mouth, obviously the saxophone, but to a baby, it's like, what is going on? So that might have been quite
Did he
comical.
have little earmuffs on?
He did, yes.
Oh, there's nothing cuter.
Hearing, yeah. So that was quite nice. But It was a very, very long trip because it's supposed to be 3.5 hours from Sheffield to Farnham, which is where the wedding took place. It took 5.5 hours and
God.
6 going back. Nothing to do with traffic. It was because of having a little baby in the car.
Yeah.
And obviously he needed his breaks. He needed food. He needed cuddles. He needed nappy changing. It took a long time. A very long time. And before we actually went down to Farnham, the night before, I was in the Lake District, which is 3.5 hours away from Sheffield. Can I just add that the Lake District gig came first and then my sister's wedding came second? Not ideal.
No.
So, yeah. Overall, though, it was actually fine. It worked out okay. I've spoken quite a lot. Would you like to say anything more about your weekend? And I'll alternate and say more about mine after you do.
I did another wedding, which had to be delayed. And it was a private booking. At a venue that was only like 10 minutes from my house. So I thought, bloody winner. I really want to get in that venue more for very obvious reasons. But I was setting up, talking to the DJ, and then they started to allow all the guests in because the room had been turned around. So I thought, now is the time to beat the bar queue and get my glass of Pinot Grigio. So I went straight over to the bar. Like, hardly any guests were in yet. It was just me and the mother of the bride, and that was it. So I think the mother of the bride might have been ordering some sort of like Midori spritz. It was like a green liquid in the bottom of like a wine glass. And then...
No idea what that is, but okay.
Do you know like an Aperol spritz?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, just replace Aperol with the Midori, which is like a melon liqueur.
Okay, nice.
So anyway, what the point of the story is, they needed Prosecco to be added to it. So I'm waiting for my wine to be poured. My wine has now been poured. I'm just looking around the room, looking at everybody coming in, and then I hear this horrific, like, bomb going off, someone being shot, bang, like, and this scream was actually, like, blood-curdling, and I think about it now and it still gives me chills. It was an absolute, like, shriek, and I turn around and this poor bartender is, like, clutching her face, and then drops to the floor, absolutely, like, wailing.
Oh, no.
And what had happened was she'd gone to open the Prosecco, but I'm not sure whether it had been, like, over-pressurised, or maybe someone had, like, put it down a bit too hard, or maybe it had been dropped or something, and she's picked up the wrong one. So she went to take the cork out, but the cork came flying out of her hand, went directly into her eye socket. And, like, with the wail, if her eye burst, it would make sense. Like, it was, honestly, it makes me feel all funny just hearing it. Hearing this scream in my head, it's like etched. And she was on the floor absolutely wailing, clutching her face.
Oh, no, I know what you're going to tell me. She's a singing waiter.
No.
Oh, so.
No, she was just a bartender.
Oh, right, okay.
But there's only meant to be 2 bartenders on this bar. And obviously people are then coming in and people hear this like a bomb's gone off. And then all of a sudden all the guests are flooding the bar. Get some ice, I'm a nurse, and all this. But obviously they're all drunk. So they're all trying to get into this bar area. And then they had to end up like shutting the bar area off. And delaying the entire thing, and then everyone's roaming around being like, God, there's no drinks, this is so bad. But half people had no idea what had even happened. And like, this girl couldn't open her eye. If she could, she couldn't see out of it. She actually might be blind now. Like, it was bad.
That is bad.
Really bad.
I hope she's okay.
I know. Well, the last thing I knew, she was at hospital.
Okay.
I haven't had any updates. Might have to call up and find out. But she was meant to be going on holiday on Monday, so obviously that wouldn't be able to happen. The DJ said, it's so ironic, isn't it? The next thing we're doing is the Prosecco Tower. And I just had this image. I was like, what if it's like a dodgy batch of Prosecco?
Yeah.
But fortunately, the Prosecco Tower was okay.
Oh, bless her.
I know.
I wonder how that happened. But when you open Prosecco, she must have had it aimed at her head, but she's probably aimed it at her head because she's done it so many times.
I know. I never aim it away. I hold it in like a twist bottle, like a Coke can. That's what I normally do. Like,
oh, I always aim it at the last person that pissed me off. Get it?
But yeah, if I'm feeling like, fancy, then I'll just like use my thumbs, push it up and let it go. Whoa! But with the sound
all right,
effect.
Jackie Chan.
But otherwise, like I said, you do it so often because we are called the Prosecco family in my household. You just twist it, and obviously she just looked at it and just. That's how we book into restaurants. We'll say it's the Prosecco family, and they go, okay, great.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's a bit much. Maybe we need to stop. But yeah, I went directly into her eye.
Wow.
So I pushed it all back. On that same event, it was one of those really weird ones. Have you had this where people just think it's a performance and they just watch?
Oh, yeah. It's a certain age group?
And this is an all-age group.
Oh, okay.
It's really odd.
But so like they don't get up and dance.
They were up dancing.
Oh.
And then I'd start and they'd sit.
Yeah, okay, I do know that. I think an equivalent of that I always really struggle with is when I start playing, everyone stops dancing and kind of like all of a sudden goes into a line around me. And I'm like, do something, dance around me.
I know. But it was really funny because they all they had their cutlery and they were tapping on the table as if they were drumming and filming. So people were obviously enjoying it. But I was like, it's not a performance.
No, get involved.
Please join me.
Yeah.
So at the very end, though, I sat down. I was like, you know what? I actually smashed it considering I got people up dancing at the end, you know.
That was literally your job to smash the drums.
Well, yes. And and this one guy came out and he said, can I join you whilst I have a cigarette? And I was like, yeah, sure, fine. And you might have seen this on my close friends on my Instagram.
No.
And I've never used close friends before, but I broke my virginity. So we were sat outside.
All right.
He said, can I join you for a cigarette? Yeah, sure, that's fine. And we were talking and he said he was a bit bored. And I was like, okay.
Oh, here we go.
But obviously he didn't know who I was.
Okay.
And he said he just come from
Do you know who I am?
Do you not know who you're talking to? And he said he just came from a funeral. So I was like, you know what? Fair enough. That kind of makes sense. At least you're here. And then he asked who I knew. And I was like, oh, I don't know anybody. I was the drummer. And he went, oh, okay. Yeah, you were giving it some beans, weren't you? I bet you're well sweaty. And I was like, strange thing to say, but yeah. And I said, but you said you were bored though. I made a joke out of it. And he said, I quote, no, I'll tell you exactly what I said. I looked at my friends and I said, if she had a pair of tits, it'd be something worth looking at, wouldn't it?
Sorry.
If she had a pair of tits, it would be something worth looking at.
So he looked at his friends and said that?
He looked at his friends, pointed at me and said, if she had a pair of tits,
oh my God,
it would be something worth looking at.
Wow.
And I was so taken aback. I was like, what? And he was like, yeah, I'm honest though, aren't I? And I was like, well, thanks. And he went, yeah, but at least I'm honest. And he was so chuffed of how honest he'd been and just insulted me to my face. I went, have a nice night. I was like, right.
What? He must be a really dishonest man, because if he's become so chuffed about his honesty,
right,
then when he really shouldn't have,
it was so much.
He must be a massive liar.
It was so much.
Yeah, that is quite a lot.
The DJ, I told the DJ, and the DJ, I hadn't met him until that night, and the DJ said something that I wish I'd bloody said. What? He said I should have turned to him and said, well, if you'd had a bigger dick, I'd be more impressed as well, but it seems like we're both let down.
This has definitely got an E next to it, this podcast, hasn't it?
I'm sorry.
A big E. Too many E's.
Huge E. But I just thought that was absolutely hilarious. And it was one of those things I wish I'd bloody said it. I so wish. Like, in the moment, I was that quick. But I was just so taken aback. I was like, oh, have a nice night then. I might ask for his number and then just text him it.
Text him what?
If you had a bigger dick,
oh, text him. Right, okay.
I'd be like, text the bride. By the way, who was this guest?
Yeah.
Start the message off. I've been thinking of this for the past 2 weeks. Finally come to me. This is my response.
Jeez, yikes. You've had a lot going on, haven't you? Drama.
Back to you.
Back to me. Well, speaking of delayed starts, I had one delay.
Oh, God.
This is a story. I am not saying what venue it is. However, I did a gig where I was on time and it was 9:45 at night I was supposed to start. Now, bear in mind, I had already moved the start time from 9:30 to 9:45, because out of a previous gig, and I realised kind of distance and finish times, and I was like,
was this the double booking?
No. I don't double book. What are you talking about?
No, you said you had one and then you just had to adjust the times and it was all okay.
Oh, yes, it is. Oh, yeah, no, that was ages ago. No. This is so I had a gig and they were half an hour away from each other. And but I had to finish one at 9, and initially I was going to start the other one at 9:30, and I was like, that is just not going to work because I don't have packed down time. But I was like, if I move the time to 9:45, I can do it.
Yeah.
Bit of a stretch, but I could do it. So
if anyone can do it, you can do it, Callum. I've seen you fly in and out of venues.
Don't you know who I am? And I got to the venue, set up, and I was ready.
Yeah.
And in fact, I was so good for time that the percussionist, which wasn't you, arrived later than me. And I was like, and I thought I was late.
Oh my God.
But he was ready too, on time, no sweat, no dramas.
Did he have bongos?
He had bongos,
That
yes.
makes sense.
And the DJ all of a sudden said, ladies and gentlemen, the buffet is now open.
Oh God.
And the drummer and I looked at each other and went, you are? It's 9:45. What do you mean? What do you mean? What? Excuse me. I was like, we're just about to start, aren't we? And I said, what's happened here then? Was that the plan? And he said, no. It was supposed to be open at 9. I said, oh, why is it 45 minutes late? Somebody burned something. He said, no, worse. The venue miscounted how many guests there were, didn't put out enough tables. Then, because they had to put out more tables, everything got delayed.
Right.
How bad is that? How have you done that? How have you... And you know, I was there thinking, oh, so my first thought was, oh, has the bride and groom been really cheeky and tried to pretend that there were less guests coming so that they didn't have to pay for the extra food? No, the venue had just messed up.
Oh God.
So bad that.
That is bad.
Yeah. So that was a delayed start because we actually ended up starting at 10 and the night was supposed to finish at 12. In fact, no, we didn't start at 10. We ended up starting at 10:15 because obviously everyone needed to get the food and the food was in the middle of the dance floor in the first place. So, yeah, that wasn't great, really. I won't say what venue that is, but if you're listening, venue unnamed, sort it out. Not good enough. Yeah, so that was the story. It was my birthday as well the other few weeks ago. That was nice. I drove a Hillman Imp. If you don't know what that is, it's a car from the 1960s, 70s. I'd never driven a car that old before, so that was a cool experience.
Amazing. And if you don't know, if you don't know, Callum is a huge car buff.
I do like my cars, yes. Here's a story, because I've definitely never told this story, and this is about cars, and you know this story already. Oh. Here's how much I love cars. We're on the way back to Mallorca. To Mallorca? I wish. We're on the way back to the UK from Mallorca. We are in the tunnel on the way to the plane. And
oh, yeah.
You know the story, yes. And I see, well, I knew of, I had been conversing with a guy about a particular car. And I thought, and I'd kind of arranged things to where it would work quite well to where this car would arrive at my house the following day. But because I knew how long we were going to be on the plane for, I was like, and that this was such a good deal, I was like, I kind of need to buy this car now. So I suddenly just made the purchase on the tunnel, and my partner Josie was next to me, and I was like, I'm just going to tell you not everything, but I've just done something big. And I will tell you when you're sat next to me on the plane, because my thought was, if she hates me and wants to kill me for this decision, she can't, because there's a load of witnesses. So she'll have to wait a good 2.5 hours before she murders me.
And then she might calm down a bit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That was my thought. I did tell her on the plane, and she was like, oh, cool, great. And I was like, that is a great response. I'm alive.
I don't know why that was so antiquated. I was like, oh, damn.
Yeah, thanks for that. Because you wanted to be doing the podcast with her instead of me.
My plan has been foiled.
So tell me about that murder.
Don't tell anyone.
Yes, in case you're interested in what car it was, ladies and gentlemen, it was a BMW Z4 from the year 2003. It was a 3-litre, and it drives very fast. It was broken when it came to me, but it's now fixed and it drives. Yeah, cool story, bro. I know. That's how much I love cars. This is not a car podcast. This is a music podcast.
Bring it back.
Bring it back. I'm bringing it back. I did a wedding, and guess how many people were on the dance floor?
20.
Nope, much lower.
10.
0.
Oh.
Guess how many people were inside the venue whilst I was doing this gig?
20.
2. Do you know where everyone else was?
Where?
outside.
Oh, heat wave.
Yeah, the weather was decent, but it wasn't like, blazing. But just I guess they just read it, dressed it. And I was literally playing to these two people sat down, who were very lovely and were clapping every song, and they were, enjoying it. The DJ was absolutely going for it. And he was like, "Ladies and gentlemen, here's my good friend, Sweet."
I know who that is.
Yes. That person will be listening and they know who it is too, but I won't
My
give
very
their
good
name,
friends.
because it might be too obvious to if anyone, and we don't know who's listening at what wedding this was. And he's like, "Ladies and gentlemen, my very good friend, Sweet on sax." And it was literally like, "Woo, yeah, woo." And I was like, "I'm glad they're here, because it'd be death silence without them." And I was literally just jumping around like an Energizer bunny, playing to those two people. But do you know what? They seemed to have a great time.
No, but I had a gig like that recently, and it was one of those awkward ones where it was quite a way away. So I had an increased fee and accommodation, and there was a sound limiter.
Oh God!
And I understand why sound limiters are there, and I understand that I can work with some of them, depending on the decibel limit. This one was just horrific. The DJ cut the power before I'd even started playing.
Oh,
Like, it was bad. And maybe there were 70 to 80 guests there at this wedding, and every single person was outside. So much so that the saxophonist, who I hadn't met before, just stopped playing.
Oh.
We were booked for 2 45-minute sets. Normally, I am sweating by 15 minutes in. And honestly, I could have carried on for another 8 hours. Like, I was tickling the drums. And, like
I'm just imagining that. I can imagine the drums being like, "It's too much, stop it." Sorry, continue.
So, yes, I am tickling the drums. And I'm looking at the sound limiter, and it's still beeping red. But literally, everyone was outside. And there must have been a table of, like, 4 people. And it wasn't even that bad. It was like just a wall dividing, which didn't even go across the entire way. A wall dividing the dance floor area from the bar. So everyone knew that we were on. It's basically just a room cut into a horseshoe shape. That's all it was. But then everyone was outside, and I was like, I just think it's so ungrateful.
Yeah.
Like, a couple or a host or anything has paid an awful lot of money for the entertainment. Goddamn, be there, even if you don't like it.
But, if you're driving and you've got music playing and you turn it up to 1, just the little number 1 on your little volume thing, are you listening to, do you care about what you're listening to? The correct answer here is no.
No.
Because you can't hear it.
They could hear it.
But you're tickling the drums.
I know, but my drums are still loud.
True. But a lot of the time, though, I think that maybe some people aren't interested because they can't hear it. Maybe they were all deaf. Were they all old?
No.
Oh, I was going to say maybe they're
On
all
my
deaf.
break, there was a table of 6 men, all maybe between the ages of 28 and 38, not even talking to each other, and just sat on their individual phones.
Oh, God, I've seen that a lot.
And I was like, just bloody, you're here for 5 hours. They've paid thousands for the venue. They've paid thousands for the entertainment. At least look like you're happy to be there.
Do you know what was probably missing, though? The wedding drug dealer. Because
I mean, the bride was pregnant, so
if they'd gone to the toilet and sniffed the cocaine that everyone does nowadays during
sniff
weddings,
the canine wormer that you found in the in fibre bathroom.
Absolutely, yeah.
Throwback to last episode.
It actually wasn't fibre. It was another bar that will whoa, hello, let me put my teeth in. That will remain unnamed.
I just guessed. I'm sorry, fibre.
No, it was not fibre at all. Yeah, it's everyone's doing it nowadays, and maybe that's what they needed to enjoy the night. But maybe because there was no resident drug dealer, yeah.
Another annoying thing, which I've had recently. And everybody get up. We're now going to do the reason why we're all here. The first dance. If you can all form like a nice semicircle, get your phones out, come and watch the first dance. And not one bugger gets up from their seat.
Really?
It's happened a few times. Or some people get up, maybe like 5. Like 5 of the girls get up to get a good position. But they don't need a good position because everyone else is sat. It's the highlight.
Yeah, that's so strange.
Do it.
Yeah.
Or the cake cut. People just stay seated. I'm like, honestly, it winds me up so much.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get it. It's like, what is more entertaining on your phone than being at your best friend's wedding? I don't understand. Like, why would you
I don't get it.
Yeah, or why would you just not? I mean, you've made the effort to be there, which is like 2.5 hours probably, for some people, I imagine maybe even more. But yet you can't be bothered to get out of your seat and
I know, it's just crap.
Celebrate.
And even if you can see, it looks like you're making no effort for these people who have paid thousands.
Mm-hmm.
Because yes, well done, you're turning your heads a quarter to the left. Like, get up, cheer, do so. I'm going to stop, I'm going to get angry.
Well, that's exactly why bride and groom are hiring resident drug dealers.
Oh, hiring them.
Do you know what I thought of a brilliant idea, right? If you already do this, if you're listening out there and you're already like, oh no, this is already a thing, or I do this, do let us know. So you know how we have wedding fairs, which we are going to actually go on to talk about later on. I thought, why not have a drug dealer at a wedding fair? Hear me out. Here's the idea.
Oh, God, Callum.
Okay?
You're going to get us cancelled.
No. This is a great idea. If drugs were legal, this is a great idea.
All right, okay.
So I was having a conversation with the DJ who was talking about this whole thing about seeing drug dealers at weddings. And I asked the question, are they even guests? Do they know the bride and the groom? Or have they been employed to make it look like they're a guest, but really
where are all these weddings where there's all these drug dealers?
Have you been to Burnley? We love you, Burnley. But have you been?
I mean, it's been snowing heavily, but I've not seen anybody with like a menu and opening their trench coat.
Yeah, and that's why I thought, oh, I know. That's, they probably don't even know the bride and the groom, and they just suddenly get employed if you're just that kind to look like a guest.
I think if you're just that kind of couple, and if that's you, fine. I'm not going to judge. But if you are into a little bit of extra happiness, then chances are a lot of your guests are as well. So I imagine they probably sort it out and bring it before they arrive.
But why not just have it at a wedding fair? I
don't know how to.
I can provide whatever you want. I've got some coke here, empty of me here. Whatever you want, I can bring to your wedding.
Oh God, we're literally going on the complete explicit of Spotify. Good God.
Yeah, that's a good idea, though.
Until you mentioned the drugs, you went, "You're all right, love. I've got whatever you want here," and opened your jacket. I was like, "This could be a drug dealer or a flasher." I really don't.
I mean, why not have both at a wedding?
I bet flashers feel left out when strippers get paid to it.
Okay, moving on.
Right, move on swiftly. Good God.
Do you have any more stories about what you've been up to?
Yes, I went to Italy.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Tell us about it.
Well, I nearly didn't go because I actually had a meltdown for the first time in 6 years.
Oh.
Because the bride's father is a professional percussionist, right?
Oh.
So there was me, sax, singer, and DJ going out. So 4 of us.
Can I interrupt? Was this for a very famous percussionist for a very famous band that I will not mention?
Spoilers!
Oh, were you about to say who it was?
Yes.
Oh, sorry. We'll edit that.
So anyway, the bride in the group chats seemed to forget that sax, singer, and DJ existed, because every single message was about drums. It was, can she bring this? Can she bring that? What about this? Can I hire in these drum blocks? Why can't she play with her hands? Can she do this roaming drum roll over to the cake cut, and then can we do an acoustic drum thing back, and then why can't you do this, and why can't, and like completely changing everything. This woman has seen me. Like she'd booked me off video. She saw the kit that I bring. She saw my style of playing, and this went on for so long that I actually stopped looking at the chat because it was constantly about me. I'm in a WhatsApp group chat for this event, and the timings kept changing, and everything was just really like, it was never settled. But apart from the timings changing, everything else was about changing my playing style, changing what I play, changing the equipment that I'm bringing. And then I got a message from my agent, and they were like, "You're going to have to look at this group chat at some point, babe. I know you're avoiding it," and put like a little laughing face. And then I looked, and the 80 messages that I'd missed out on in about 2 hours. I just burst into tears. And I was like, I've never been made to feel so crap about a job that I know I do well. I was like, I don't even think she wants me there. Like, she's trying to change everything about me. So I ended up talking to my agent. I was crying for 2 hours on my own. And then I called my mother and cried for a further hour. And then I called my agent and cried for a further hour. And then I cried for half an hour after that. So it's 4.5, if not 5 hours of me crying in the kitchen about this gig. And I was like, does she actually want me coming? Because I feel like I'm just going to turn up. She's not even going to want me there. She's going to hate everything that I do. Anyway, long story short, after me melting down and my agent being like, do you want me to see if I can get somebody else? Because I can't have you in this state. I didn't realize how much it was affecting you. She spoke to the bride, and the bride was like, no, I love her. I can't wait. After 4 or 5 months of completely critiquing every single part of me. So that was really odd. Anyway, we turned up. I was really nervous. Castle was absolutely stunning. And it was like a big money wedding. Like a lot of abroad gigs are. But this firework display went on for about 10 minutes.
Wow.
And honestly, because it was in a castle, if you closed your eyes, they were so loud. It was like you'd been transported back 200 years and you were at war. Like it was the loudest. And it was echoing off everything. I had like an out-of-body experience. I was like,
whoa,
time traveling. But yeah, it was amazing. The bride did about 5 outfit changes. She looked phenomenal, all of them. It was all running really far behind, but we got everything going and it was all fine. And it was at the end, when we were packing down, we finished. We made it through this really awkward planning process. And my mum always says it's the weddings that you dread, which are the ones that actually go quite well.
That's true. That's true.
So that happened. So I nearly pulled out of it, but I didn't. And I'm happy that I didn't because it went well. And then at the end, this one guy walked past and he said, oh, yeah, you guys were great tonight. Who's the drummer? And I was like, oh, that's me. And, oh, yeah. Did you get a photo with Duran Duran? And I was like, what? And we all were just like, huh? What are you all about? Like, and he was like, oh, yeah, my dad. My dad's the drummer from Duran Duran, and my sister was the one getting married, so all Duran Duran were here.
Oh, God.
So it was, when I thought professional percussionist, I just thought like a session musician. It was sodding Duran Duran who were at this.
Oh my God. So I saw
wedding.
this on your Instagram, but I thought that you knew
No!
beforehand.
I had no idea. But actually, I don't know if I would have rather known after.
Yeah.
Because knowing before, I would have been absolutely bricking it.
But this is, this could have been like, oh yeah, my dad plays drums. You know, that famous, oh yeah, great, of course he does. Oh yeah, he's only the flaming drummer for Duran Duran.
Well, this is the thing. This is why she was so insistent on the drums, because her dad was a professional percussionist.
But why didn't he do the gig?
Because he doesn't need to, he's Duran Duran. Yeah. Well, I thought he was actually going to go up and do a set, and that's another reason why I was like, stop changing everything and bringing stuff that he's going to play, because if I'm going to be playing his equipment, which I'm not used to, I'm going to look double crap.
That's a huge compliment for you, though, isn't it? That she obviously, she's the daughter of the drummer for Duran Duran, so she's been brought up in a household full of music.
Mm-hmm.
So she's going to obviously have understood who is good at what they do and who is bad at what they do. And I'm sure he has probably had some input into who you're going to get and who you're not going to get. And it's you.
I knew. It's very out of body.
So all those people, all those online haters
can do one.
Can absolutely do one, can't they? I mean,
off
that
you
is
pop.
Such a middle finger to them.
Oh, I know.
Yeah. Have you been asked by Duran Duran to come and play? Doubt it, mate.
In Italy, flown out.
Yeah.
You cow.
Great. That's amazing.
But yeah, it was amazing. And then actually, off topic of music, I went to Pompeii, which I've always wanted to go to.
Wow.
It was phenomenal.
Was that a gig or a holiday?
No, so basically we extended it a little bit. So we were there, our flights were paid for, and one night accommodation. But then me and the singer ended up staying out a little bit longer and just booking an extra 2 nights accommodation in Napoli.
Wow.
So we went to Pompeii, and if you haven't been, go. It was phenomenal.
And this is why there's not been a podcast for 4 weeks.
Precisely. We've been busy.
We have been busy.
But yeah, I'm just going to say one thing about Pompeii. You go in and it does take your breath away, the way that it's all preserved. It feels like you're walking around a movie set, you know, and everyone's smiling and taking photos and posing. And when I went there, I spoke to Steph, who was the singer who was out with me. And I said, like, should we really be smiling when we're taking all these photos? Because, like, when I went to go visit Auschwitz in Birkenau, there was a trend where people were balancing on the rails, you know, like tightrope walking on the rails to Birkenau. And it was like a bit of an influencer shot to show you've been there. So when I went, the tour guide was like, have a bit of respect. I don't mind you taking photos, but it's not a backdrop for you to get likes. It's a horrific thing. So the same when I went to Pompeii, I was like, in reality, should we be smiling at this?
Yeah.
But I will hold my hands up. I've got a few happy smiles in there, but a lot of it was just us walking around and actually just admiring how it used to be, really. But Steph had said there were the bodies there, and she'd been once before and she hadn't seen them before. So she wanted to try and find them. So we were walking, we got lost. We didn't have the audio guide wasn't accessible to us for some reason, and we didn't pick up a map on the way in. Turns out Google Maps works in Pompeii, by the way.
Oh.
Which is baffling. Yeah. We ended up finding the bodies, and fortunately we went in quite late and we were on our own at this point, because I'm going to swear again, E-rating. Steph ran to the corner and she just went, fuck. And I was like, oh God, we're here. So I walked around the corner and it was just silent. And you saw all these casts of these people. And we must have been there for 20 minutes just in silence. Wow. And you could see there were adults there, there were children there. And yeah, I started crying, I think. I got quite emotional at that. But it then brought it back to actually you're not walking around a film set. This is all here for a reason. And it was absolutely monumental. So if you are going to go to Napoli, definitely go. Steph, it's the second time Steph's been and she wants to go back a third time because it's just a mini town. There's so much to see. But yeah, so after all of that, I don't know how long we've been talking.
How long have we been talking?
We're on a love.
Oh, yes. Wow. That must be a record because we are 45 minutes in.
Oh my God, I hope you're not bored of us.
And we've not even gone past the first section. But
we did say it would be a catch-up episode.
We did, yes. We are going to go past the first section now. If you would like to tell us about what you've been up to, the good, the bad, the ugly, please write to us at
WeMakeItHappenPodcast@gmail.com.
Thank you for the voice, which sounds like the Spotify ad voice. If you've ever heard that on podcasts, it's very much like that.
Spotify Premium.
Spotify. No, sorry, not Spotify. I don't mean Spotify.
Shopify.
I mean Shopify.
Shopify, 100%.
Okay, so you have talked about... You're right there.
Sorry, I'm just putting my coffee down. Don't mind me.
So, yes, you've been talking about what you have been up to. What are you looking forward to?
I'm going to Saint-Tropez, baby.
Is that for a gig?
Yes.
Oh.
It says for another gig, another mega money gig.
Nice.
Very honoured to be invited there.
Sorry, I'm just looking at the notes. I'm really sorry to interrupt, and it's just made me chuckle. We are going to go back to Saint-Tropez. I'm really sorry for those listening, but I've just seen a list of cities. And this is going to be a bit of a spoiler, so you are going to have to tell us a bit about this. But this is how this goes: Saint-Tropez, Birmingham, right? Manchester, France. Oh, nice. Grimsby, Birmingham, London. What?
Back to Grimsby. So yeah, basically that's the rundown of my last week.
Nice.
In September.
I've been most looking forward to Grimsby.
Yeah, same.
It's quite nice. Saint-Tropez. Sorry.
But yeah, so basically my last week is on the Monday. I've got a gig in Birmingham and I'm staying overnight. And then I'm driving back and I'm going to be in Manchester, got a gig in Manchester, staying overnight. Because then I have to be up after about 3 hours sleep to get on the plane and go to Saint-Tropez. And then I've got, I think, 2 nights there, and then the gig is on the final day, which is on the Friday. On the Friday, I've got the gig. And then once again, about 3 hours sleep, get back on a plane, come back to Leeds, do the gig in Grimsby. We love Grimsby. And then after that, that's on the Saturday. And then on the Sunday, I'm with you in Birmingham overnight. Oh,
yes.
You're not staying overnight. Holly's staying overnight.
Oh, we're on that gig together in Grimsby. I've just realised.
Oh, I'm with you twice.
Yeah, because it's the end of September, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. We're on Friday and then the Saturday together. Sorry, the Saturday and then the Sunday. We're 2 consecutive days. Yeah.
And then Birmingham overnight, and then I'm travelling to London. So in that entire week, 8 days, I'm sleeping at home once.
Wow.
So that's my hectic thing that's got coming up. But the Saint-Tropez wedding, like I say, is going to be phenomenal. Once again, it's me, DJ, sax, and violin, I think. So there's another 4 of us going out, but I'm going out slightly early with the sax player, which would be nice. Yeah. They're flying in the Olympic synchronized swimming team to do a routine during dinner.
Wow. Jeez.
And I wish I was kidding.
Jeez.
I know.
Which Olympic team?
I don't know. One of them. Does it make a difference?
Well, I mean, if they got last place, then maybe it does make
Bit
a
of a discount.
difference. Yeah, they've drowned. Sorry, no, I really. Sorry, that's a really bad joke. Poor taste.
Oh my god! Yeah, why are we laughing? Horrific. Stay somber.
I'll edit that bit
Stay
out.
somber. But yes, so it's going to be a spectacular wedding, I'm sure. And on the next podcast, I'll be able to fill you in it, maybe.
Yeah, sounds great.
Depending on when I'm at the country, we need to figure out when the next one's going to be.
Sounds good.
But yeah, so that's it's just hectic, and it's hectic all the way up to December now. I don't have a break.
I'm the opposite. I'm much calmer in
Really?
September. Yeah, my hectic lifestyle's gone. I've got everyone else would be like, oh, that's a busy September, but for me it's actually quite now. I've got a Friday free coming up actually.
I've got a Friday free.
Yeah, so I can just relax a little bit more. It does mean that there's less money in the bank account, but that's fine because the last few months have probably paid for the next few months.
Exactly.
Yep, until I pay my tax in January.
Get Monzo.
Is this an ad? I don't remember
Get
getting
Monzo
an email
Business
about.
Pro.
I don't remember.
Use your
anything
tax
about
part to make sure that you always have enough finances for your tax. Seriously, do it.
this. Sorry.
If you are a sole trader, this is going out to you, which hopefully you will are if you're listening to this podcast. Monzo Business Pro. It's not. Take that look off your face.
Well, because it's like we're doing an ad, but I don't know anything
Monzo
about
need
an
to
ad.
sponsor us because you don't get worried about your tax bill.
Why?
Because if you pay for Monzo Business Pro, not sponsored, sponsor us.
This really isn't sponsored.
It actually
guys.
isn't sponsored, but I am spreading the word. You pay £5 a month, and with that you can send off different invoices and stuff, but I don't do that because on the invoice it has to put your address on it, and obviously being a sole trader, my business address is my house, so I don't do that. But the reason why I pay £5 a month is because you can then set up this tax pot. Any money that comes into your account, 20% of it will come out into this tax pot.
Oh.
So I actually bloody love when tax payment day comes around because I know I have the money and I have more money than I need because it's not factored in the expenses. So in reality, I get a payment boost.
Oh.
So bloody spend £5 a month at a coffee.
That's quite good. And with that £5 a month, I'm guessing that you can then claim that back.
Precisely.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that is quite okay.
So it is good because you can get different pots where you can you have to manually put in certain amounts. But actually, just for the price of a coffee a month, automatically any money that comes into your account, 20% of it will come out into your tax pot. You don't have to look at it. And then your tax bill comes around and you might have an extra 1,000 in there that you didn't even know. And then you get it's a nice little bonus. Do it.
I could buy another car.
You could think of all the cars you could buy, Callum.
No, I like my relationship. I value my life.
I value my life.
Oh, that's quite clever.
But it's not an ad, but it bloody should be. I'm going to tag Monzo in this Instagram post.
Monzo, if you guys don't sponsor us back after this is coming out,
I will.
We're gonna have words.
I'm not even going to cancel my subscription because it's that good. I'm just going to complain, sue for emotional damage.
Well, you might gain a few more customers now.
Exactly. If you do, come to me and then I can refer you and then I can get a discount.
So is there a referral code?
I'll have to see if I can find it. I'll put it on. If this is a short clip, I'll put it in the clip underneath.
Okay, moving on. Thanks, Monzo.
Thanks, Monzo.
We're going
Seriously,
to our podcast topic now. And I'm going to cough, excuse me. Thank you. So I thought about this because I've done a few recently, and I think you've done a few recently, and I know a few other people who've done a few recently. Wedding fairs. Are they worth your time and your effort? Is the question for our podcast today. So
I can see both of us have put yes and no.
Yes. Yeah, I think yes and no, purely because I think if you get bookings from it, then it's been a great use of your time. Fantastic. And it could be that simple. Sometimes they are that simple. Sometimes you didn't have to pay that much for the plot that you are being in the wedding fair. Loads of people turned up. Loads of people thought you were shit at. And then you've got loads of bookings from that. Brilliant. However, it doesn't
Put your finger
always
away.
work that
Who
way.
are you waggling your finger at?
I'm waggling my finger at those wondering whether they should do wedding fairs.
It's making me
or
uncomfortable.
Not.
Put it down.
You lot. Okay. Sometimes you do a wedding fair and you are promised by those people that are arranging the wedding fair that this is going to be a big event. A big event, my backside, when only 7 people have walked through the door and they're not at all interested in what you're doing.
No.
Especially as when those 7 people have walked through the door, when, for example, if you're a musician, sometimes you have dedicated spaces when you can play.
Yes.
Because there may be other musicians there as well.
Mm-hmm.
And those 7 people have walked through the door when you aren't playing, which means it's been a total waste of your time, effort and money and travel. And you could have watched your son's first steps, but instead...
Oh, is that what happened?
No, this isn't a personal story. This is just an example. I happen to have a son who's just about to probably start walking. But no, I'm saying this is what could happen. You've wasted your time. And it could be a Sunday morning when you've had a late night gig the night before. And
They are
really
a killer
tired.
for that.
They are.
Getting at 3 or 4 in the morning, you fall asleep at like 6 in the morning, and then you're up at 8 to traipse on the motorway to go to a wedding show.
Yes. So that's my beef with them. Also, you might be doing a wedding fair for your personal self, and sometimes you can be doing it for an agency. I actually prefer the ones for an agency because I don't feel totally responsible for if it went to shit.
No, it's so true though, because like I feel very sorry for the agency that we're both talking about right now. But
I'm not talking about any agencies specifically.
I only do wedding shows for one agency.
Okay.
And they are very good at what they do. But I didn't realise how much of hard work it was to do a wedding show until I did my own. I took it completely for granted. Because I'd walk in, I'd set up, make sure everything's ready for when, the people start arriving, which is great. And the guys and gals stood there with their iPads, everything's looking professional, stage is on, lighting's up, looks great. I'll then just go mooch outside, I'll go on my phone, might get one of the free Prosecco's, have a little chat.
Of course.
Prosecco family. But yeah, get one of the free Prosecco's, go outside, have a catch up with the saxophonist, and then maybe half an hour, 40-minute passes, and then one of the guys comes in, it's getting a bit busy, do you want to go on? Yeah, sure, of course we do. Float in, play for 5 minutes, float back out again, get another Prosecco, and carry on chatting. And that's basically my wedding show experience, and it's actually quite enjoyable. Like, I don't get paid for it, but the deal that we have with the agency, because they've obviously got to pay for the plot and stuff, we do it for free, but then we get first refusal.
Yeah.
On the gigs.
Yeah.
So kind of, fair's fair. And like I say, I enjoy everybody who I work with. If I turn up, have a nice little glass of fizz, have a catch up, very chill day, and go home. And it's actually quite nice. I did my first wedding show on my own, and good God, it's agony. Like, because you've got to be there really early, set up even earlier than I normally am, because I then didn't just have my drum kit that I normally bring. I also invested a lot of money into the table, making it all look pretty, into canvases, which are bloody expensive just to buy a canvas. A television in the middle with my show reel going round, my laptop with all the reviews on, business cards, little disco balls to put on the business cards. Don't steal that idea if you're listening and doing a wedding show. And it costs a lot of money. It takes a lot of time, And then we were there. I went with my mum because she is my mummager. She's fantastic. And we were there for maybe 11 till 3. That was the times of the wedding show. And we were both absolutely shattered. And you feel like a bit of a car salesman going over and being like, excuse me, can I interest you in my product? Always having to interrupt them. And I thought, this just feels a bit cheap. But that's obviously what you do, because if you don't do it, every other bugger is.
Yeah.
And you're always on your feet. You can't have a break in case, if you need the toilet, then someone's got to try and manage it. And, and your feet just kill at the end of it. And it's so tiring just because you're stood constantly trying to engage with people and remembering the same spiel over and over and over again. And credit where credit's due, it's hard. And I think actually I did 2 wedding shows. They were both sister companies. So I got them as a bit of a deal, maybe like £100 off to do 2. But it still came to about £500.
Can I ask a question? So if you spent about £500 on all of that, so far, how many confirmed bookings have you had from that?
I think it must be around 1.
So was it worth your time?
No.
Oh.
That's the thing. I think it might have been. Yeah, no, literally. Like, I think I might have had like one or two. But then people who come over, half the time they don't want to fill in the inquiry form because they haven't got a date yet, they haven't got a venue yet, so you give them a card and they might lose that card. And so I have had a few people who have come back, but then I haven't been able to do the dates because I'm booked elsewhere. And maybe actually I might have had 2 bookings. But that's it. So in reality, I broke even. After all the equipment that I've bought and the time that I've spent and the fuel that I've done.
And you probably had to spend money on the actual plot itself.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So it's just, I did enjoy doing it, and I might do it more because there are a lot of people who are in our industry who do wedding shows, and they are at them bloody religiously, and they don't have any agency work, and it must pay off.
Yeah.
But maybe I just chose the wrong day, the wrong venue.
Well, this is the thing. I think wedding fairs are a bit like doing the lottery.
Yeah.
If you do the lottery once, you're probably not going to get anything from it. But if you do the lottery every weekend or week or however many times the lottery does, I don't really do it, you're probably going to earn a little bit, maybe a £5 here and there, or maybe a tenner, or you might get lucky. And earn much more. And I think that's the same thing with wedding fairs too. I mean, I think it's a little bit more prosperous than doing the lottery, but it's the same kind of principle. Yeah,
but it is really funny though, because like there's a venue that I do wedding shows at all the time, and I'm always gigging there. We both gig there. I'm not saying anything bad about it. I can say it. Crowwood. In Burnley, our favourite place.
Yes.
But Crowwood is a beautiful venue, and I've gigged there for ages. It's one of the residencies that our agency has. And I've done multiple wedding shows there. And there's sometimes, and it's no fault of Crowwood, sometimes it's absolutely rammed.
Yes.
And other times there's like 3 couples.
Yes.
And it is just pot luck. Nothing's changed. Like the venue is on point. The weather is beaming. The performances are fantastic. But no one's performing because there's just no one walking through the door.
Yeah.
It's really odd how it is just pot luck. And that does not happen often. Credit to Crowwood. I love that venue. But it's just really weird how it just happens. So maybe we just happen to get an odd day when I did my wedding shows. But it puts you off because obviously it costs money.
Yeah. And it's just time.
Yeah.
So much time.
So much time.
But again, I reckon if you did many, you'd probably be, fine. But also, if you did many in a row and they were all negative.
How much money have you lost?
And also, feel a bit disheartened as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Are they worth it? It depends. I think is our unanimous answer, isn't it?
Yeah. I think maybe if that is all you get, like, I think it is difficult for us because this person who I'm referring to, who I know does a lot of wedding shows, they're a vocalist. And I know that she did do some late night things, but I think also she does get booked to do like drinks receptions and evening do's, but not like till midnight, 1 o'clock like us. So maybe it's not as, I might be speaking completely out of turn here, but if she maybe were to align her wedding shows along days when on the day before, on the Saturday or something, she has an earlier finish, it might not be as taxing. But when we're playing till midnight,
oh yeah,
and then we've got to get back and, like I say, wind down, have 2 hours sleep, and then get there, it's actually very difficult.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that, I mean, obviously she won't know who she is. I admire her massively. But yeah, maybe that's how they do it. And if you are doing it that way, maybe it is worth it.
I would like people to let us know what their experiences of wedding fairs are, whether they do them religiously because they are totally worth it for them or not. And I would also be very interested to know kind of like what you do as your career, in the industry, and whether it's more relevant for you in certain parts of the industry than others. Yeah, I'm quite interested about that. But for me, I do them for agencies only now, and I don't do them for myself because too much time and effort.
Well, I did really enjoy it. Maybe I might do some in like January.
Yeah, that's
January, February, because you haven't really got that many gigs on. It keeps you in the loop. A lot of people think, oh my God, we're engaged. Let's start in the new year planning. So I think maybe I did enjoy doing it. And you know what? I put up my stand and I was so proud of my little self because like we'd done it all. And like I said, Mum was there as well. So my mum is like one of the main driving forces behind Christix. Like the amount of like little things that she thinks of and little, like she is an incredible woman. So to have me and my mum both stood there with our little, stand, which actually wasn't a little stand, it was a bloody phenomenal stand. It looked sick. And I was looking around and some people didn't put that in that much effort. There was a catering company, right? There was a catering company who, as we were loading in the obscene amount of stuff, they were getting Ferrero Rochers out of a packet and putting it in a vase. And they were getting macaroons out of a packet, shop bought, and displaying it. And that was their stand.
I'm going to defend them. I don't know who they are, but I'm going to defend them.
Why?
Because maybe they've done this so many times before that they knew at that point that how it was going to go. So they were like, minimal effort today. Minimal effort today, darling.
I know, but I looked around and there was one catering stand, and my God, it was like the length of bigger than this sofa was the table. Maybe even double this sofa. And yes, probably a lot of wasted food, unfortunately. But it looked phenomenal. And I looked at that and I was like, I'm not getting married, but I want to book you for Tuesday because good God. Like, honestly,
come at
incredible. No, literally. Like, it would have been amazing. And they came out at the end and gave us awesome food, obviously, because it was going to go in the bin otherwise.
Yeah.
And then I looked over and I saw this, like, putting the macaroons back in the packet that they bought from M&S. And I thought, what? Like, you know, like, if you were to choose between the two, you know. So, anyway, side note, I was just so chuffed with my little stands. And I think I'm going to do it again just because I was proud of it.
Yeah. Well, the second time might go much better.
Yeah, got a better idea of what we're doing.
I'll call around a few people, see whether they can,
Rent a crowd.
Yeah, I'll rent a crowd, absolutely. Okay, it's time to move on. So we're moving on now to our favourite bit of the entire episode, which is...
Funny gig stories.
Funny gig stories.
We need a jingle.
We do need a jingle. Funny gig stories, funny gig stories.
A better jingle.
For funny gig stories.
Oh God, that reverberated straight through my eardrums with these headphones.
Great. It was great. It's the best
It was
one.
good depth.
It was
good
funny
bass.
Gig stories. Right. So this time we've actually been sent in one.
We have been sent in one, and Callum doesn't know what it is.
I don't have any clue. I don't even know who it's from.
I know. Well, I've been told not to
nothing.
say who it's from. We're just going to call him DJ. DJ. Like when you press the keyboard.
DJ.
Right, so. Are we ready? Are we sitting comfortably, darling?
I'm sitting very comfortably. I got my cold tea.
Fantastic.
Perfect.
Then we shall begin. It was in a club in Wigan about 15 years ago. A guy came in with his girlfriend and she wanted me to play a song. It was a song that we didn't tend to play in here. I was quite high up and the guy wasn't happy I wouldn't play her song. He couldn't get to me, so the next thing heading towards me was a false leg. Below the knee, including the attached foot kind of false leg. I laughed so much and everyone else around him, I actually ended up playing the song. It was original thinking.
Okay.
Just launched a false leg.
Did they then fall over?
I presume they were sat down.
What a strange thing.
I might just get a... I don't need one, but I might just get one.
And just start launching false legs.
It's a way to grab... It's a way to grab attention, isn't it?
Jeez.
There's something afoot.
It puts a whole new meaning to break a leg. Throw your leg.
Throw your leg.
What a strange thing to happen.
I mean, it works. It evidently worked because he admired them so much for doing all of that he actually played the song. So there you go.
Wow.
When in doubt, throw your leg.
Fantastic. Do you have a story to share this week? Oh, that laughter says it all.
Yes. So, it was... Are we sure I haven't told this? My first ever private booking and my first day with 2 gigs in a day.
No.
Oh, God, here we go. Right,
This doesn't ring a bell with me.
Okay.
I don't listen to you, to be honest.
Well, I listened to you on the way here to make sure I knew about everything that's been going on.
Oh.
Who was more committed?
You.
Thank you.
You made a journey to Sheffield. I haven't travelled anywhere.
But you set it all up. Anyway, we'll digress to my horrific gig story. So it was my first ever day where I had a private booking. First ever private booking. And my first ever day with 2 gigs in a day.
Okay.
And this was like just after COVID. Maybe was it? Maybe it was before COVID. Maybe it was in COVID. Irrelevant. And I just got this new energy drink. So I'm wondering if that's what caused it, but I don't think it did because I saw it advertised whilst we were in lockdown. It was like a sugar-free, caffeinated powder, a bit like a protein shake, but it's just an energy drink. And if they sponsor me, then I might give them a shout-out. But they're not doing. So I was driving to my gig in someone's house, obviously quite nervous. I was a surprise for her husband's birthday, a garden party. So there was like the decking was up a few different levels, and I was kind of on the top level. So it was a bit like a stage. Did the first set, everyone loved it. Did the second set, everyone loved it. Food came out, brilliant. This was like at 4 or 5 o'clock-ish. So I went in, and obviously all the food, all the little buffet came out the oven. It looked lovely, and there was like maybe one little duck, tiny little hoisin duck wrap thing, like a slice of it. So I thought, I'll eat that, but I can't eat too much because otherwise when I jump around and get a stitch. So I had this little tiny thing. I'm going to go back on now. I'll have some more when I finish, And I was on stage, and my stomach just started going, and I was like, shit. And every time I jumped, this is way TMI, every time I jumped, I had to like clench because my stomach was moving independently from my body at this point. And I still had like 10 minutes of my set to go, and my stomach was just wanting to evacuate. Like, it was like, get out. So I ended up getting the birthday boy on the kit, and I was like, I'm going to stop moving and let him do it. And I very rarely get the men on the kit. I know it's sexist, but you all hit it like it's going out of fashion. Like, women are a bit nervous sometimes, but men just want to break things. So at that point, I was like, this is the best option. He can break my kit as long as I don't have an accident on this decking in front of everybody. So he was doing that, all finished, and I was like, woo! Pegged it down the stairs, and people were trying to talk to me, and I was like, I'm just gonna go freshen up first of all. And I sprinted into the house and straight up the stairs. And I went into the toilet, made it just in time, closed the window, because I thought like...
Close the window?
No, it's gonna be noisy. It was bad.
Yeah, but if it's smelly, you need to open it.
I was going to open it afterwards, but I thought the music had gone off outside. And like this window opened like just above the patio, so I thought people were going to hear something. So I closed the window, and there was no lock on the bloody door.
Oh no.
Because it was in someone's house.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to like, couldn't really reach, just listening out for somebody coming up the stairs. Managed to evacuate. And then there was no toilet bowl. So I was like... Shit,
no.
Literally shit.
Did
So
you put your drumsticks up?
Oh, that would be painful.
That's not my bed. But okay.
No, I didn't. So I'm frantically running around trying to find, not running around, hobbling around trying to find some toilet bowl. Managed to find like a bit of Kleenex tissue, like in a pack. So I had to use that, no loo brush. I'm like, sake. So then I had to like try and clean the toilet bowl with a Kleenex. And then at that point, open the window, wash my hands thoroughly. And I heard someone coming up the stairs, and I was like, oh my God, no.
Oh, no.
So I pegged it out, because it was like, unfortunately, it was like a corner staircase that kind of came up and back round.
Yeah.
Pegged it out and into my green room, which is the dressing room. And I shut the door, obviously. And as I got to the top of the stairs, I opened my little green room door, and I was like, oh, are you wanting to? Oh, I think someone just came out, but you can go. It's okay. I'm just going to get changed. It's fine. And let them just deal with the war zone. I left in there.
No.
And then as I left, the birthday boy was so happy he tipped me £50, which he probably could have used to fix his plumbing.
He's good. Oh, God, yeah. He should have kept that £50 because he's probably going to need a cleaner.
I know.
Oh, if he found out, I'd love to read a review.
Terrific.
Great drummer, but now I've had to hire in a cleaner.
So that's my first ever gig story.
Nice.
First ever private booking story.
Wow, brilliant.
I know.
Thanks for that.
You're more than welcome.
No one's going to get a story from me this weekend. This week, I've decided I'm going to leave mine for another week.
You're going to leave everyone with that image. Well,
do you know what it is? Yes, I'm going to leave everyone with that image. I'm slightly scared that I've told it before or not.
I'm scared I've told this.
No, you've definitely not told that story before.
Okay.
But, okay. I'm going to just give you a little hint, and then I'm going to look back and see whether I've told the story before. But have I mentioned anything about a glass whizzing past me before?
I don't think so.
Mentioned anything about the police closing down?
I don't think so.
Mentioned anything about my first gig in Sheffield?
I don't think so.
Right then, do you know what? Let's just tell it now. Because if I've definitely not told this story, that's fine. If I have, well, you could. I was going to say I'll edit it out, but no, do you know what? You could just hear it again. Okay, so there I am, first gig in Sheffield. I'm like, let's see what Sheffield's got to offer then.
Hometown.
Yes, this is before I moved here.
Oh.
Yeah, so clearly the gig was that good. It made me move here. No, to be honest, if I judged Sheffield's character by this gig, I would have moved very far away.
Oh, God.
So it was an R&B night. I was told it wasn't. I was told it was a house night.
An R&B night, you already just set the tone there.
Yeah, so I was like, oh, okay, this isn't... When I got there and all this R&B was playing, I was like, this is going to work very well. But the guy was like, oh, no, there is going to be a house night. But I'm like, well, when? Because it doesn't seem to be tonight. And he's like, no, it's in another room. I was like, oh, okay. It was like, we just haven't opened it up yet because there's just not enough people here. I was like, oh, okay, fine. So it was like, can you play to R&B for a bit? And I was like, oh, preferably not. But okay, fine. So started... Okay, fine. It's all right. He then says to me, hey, that room is now open. I'm like, great. So I then carry my mic equipment first into the other room. My saxophone is by the DJ decks. All is fine. I put my mic equipment into this other room where no one is yet, completely quiet. I then decide to go back into the original room to grab my saxophone. I open the door and the lights are on and the music has stopped and there's a massive circle in the middle of the club and there are people throwing bottles at each other around this circle. And I don't see the DJ anymore. The DJ doesn't seem to be there, but I do see my saxophone.
Oh my God, no.
And I'm like, if I don't get my saxophone now, I am not going to have a saxophone. But then I was like, how am I going to get my saxophone? Because there's like warfare here. So I thought, well, just run. So imagine a circle with bottles being thrown left to right, and then me running in the middle of the circle to try and launch at my own saxophone to protect it. And that's exactly what I did. And in that moment, all the bottles stopped, almost like, who the hell is this guy?
Yeah.
And it just stopped for a split moment, enough for the police to come on in and basically, like, just stop everything and stop the fight. And a police officer said, like, if you hadn't done that, it would have probably still been going on. But they were like, well, don't do that again. Because it was incredibly dangerous. But I was like, yeah, but it was my saxophone. The DJ was actually there. He was hiding below the DJ decks.
What happened then?
Oh, so apparently this club does not exist anymore. It was the bouncers had been letting in their own mates, and the bouncers had apparently been part of a gang. But there were then two rival gangs that had been brought in, and then they ended up fighting.
R&B nights, man. I told you. I knew the second you said R&B night, I was like, violence.
Yeah, this doesn't happen ever at dance events. No. To be honest, they're all coked up to be able to fight. What's that? Let's love.
I can tell you've not done coke before.
Me. Right then. I think that might bring an end to our podcast today.
Yes.
Thank you very much to those that have listened. If you have been driving, I hope that you have got to your destination safely. If you are feeling absolutely tired, please pull over.
Do star jumps.
Yes.
Carry on listening to this podcast.
Phone someone. Do what you need to do to stay alive, please.
Indeed.
You can follow us on We Make It Happen podcast on Instagram, TikTok, anything else.
We're also on Facebook.
We're also on Facebook. We're not on Twitter because it doesn't exist anymore, or X because,
Can't be asked with it.
Absolutely not.
No.
Not these days. And if you have any thoughts, feelings, criticisms, please email in at
WeMakeItHappenPodcast@gmail.com.
Brilliant. Love you lots.
Love you lots. Ta-ra.
Bye.
Bye.